Alright, stream is up and running.
Oh, it's not paused. Can I pause it now? I cannot.
You should be able to.
I just tried the pause button and it didn't pause, so.
Are you clicked into DCS?
Yeah.
Okay. That's unfortunate. No, it says it's paused on my screen.
Oh, okay. Probably because, yeah, it is paused. It is paused. Okay, we're good. Okay, let me go to the map so it won't. My GPU will shut the hell up.
David. I'm actually going to load in because my computer needs to load all the assets. Okay. Oh, it's hot start. Alright. That's a problem.
Oh, huh. You want to change that? It won't take
Yeah,
that
let's
long.
change it.
Okay, I'm going to have to close the server down.
Okay, go for it. Just because that's going to wreck our sat nav.
Yes, that's true. Okay, about there, about there.
Alright, we are streaming, by the way.
Great.
So let
Let's
me
see
know
when we're changing
when
to
you're
hot
done with
start.
that and we can brief.
Cool. Oh, right, I haven't loaded it yet. Okay. Serious shows.
That song is so lit.
It's so good. Okay, these guys are takeoff from ground, I think. Because ramp will put us in a parking spot. We don't want that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that should be good. Remind me to check the rest of them at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Not this point, but like
Yeah.
the other serious spawns if we keep having me host.
I'll probably just send you over most of my Miz files. Since I've made lots of updates to them over time.
As have I.
Okay.
I was just agreeing with you. All right. Serious shows. Server is starting.
Cool. And I am joining. Alright, let me know when you're ready for briefing.
Ready to brief.
Cool. Today we are flying at Ramat David. This is our first time in Syria in a minute. So, we will be taxiing right out of Chocks to line up on runway 11 for section takeoff maneuver. Followed by a show as normal right out of the Delta breakout for a left pitch break to land. Runway 07? That could be right.
Think so. 29 is what.
Yes, sorry, I did the math wrong. I did it backwards. Yes, so runway 29er.
Remember, there's a runway that looks like it should be the one you want, and it's not.
Yeah, I hate it. It's one of the biggest challenges. Okay. What? Any other notes before we do goals for the show?
I do not believe so.
Okay. Goals. Yes, Caleb?
I'm wondering why we didn't do that other runway. Probably with some obstruction in one direction or another. Anyway.
All right.
Goals for the show.
Goals for the show. Goal for me is to just get back onto the helmet and fly a safe show, so I'm probably going to be flying some wide form, etc.
My goal is to manage speed of this airfield if my memory serves. Speed was a weird thing.
All right. Any other notes before we get started?
No further notes.
All right, ready, break. I'm switching inputs. BrotherLeb, you got me?
Yep, I'm clear. You got me?
I gotcha.
Cool.
Alright, let's see how we doing here.
Ooh, that's not centered. There we go. Alright.
Did we unpause? I think we unpaused. No, we didn't.
We did not. We did not.
Alright, let me do some adjusting here. I've got both of our streams. I've got both of our audios.
Alright.
That's closed. Get my cable in a position where I'm not going to destroy it when I fly. Give me 1 second to readjust viewpoint here. Alrighty, I'm ready to unpause whenever you are.
Lab's ready. On pausing in 3, 2, 1, mark.
I'd love to use the dynamic weather system at some point.
I mean, we'd have to figure it out. I don't know. That's a whole...
Unless we can figure out with somebody to inject it into like a hosted server or something. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like an API probably, but scary.
Yeah. Alright, let me know when you're ready for startup.
I'm ready for start.
Battery on, APU on, standby canopy.
Lab.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby right engine crank. Engine crank in 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby right engine forward.
Lab.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby left engine crank.
Lab.
And I'm going to be a little behind because I still had my throttles linked. That's
Copy.
okay. Oh, that's 4. Good. I was like, you're chalked. Never mind. Alright. Left engine crank in 3, 2, 1, mark. Stand by left engine forward.
Roll left, roll left. Flight control.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Stand by FCS.
Go for FCS.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. In test.
Lab.
Been a minute, huh, Mav?
I wonder where the actual button for that FCS reset test is.
I know where it is. It's
in the cockpit.
I know where it is. It's under your right elbow.
Well, I know where the FCS reset. It's the thing you push when you hit the FCS bit test. That's what I don't know.
Chariots FCS is go.
Love FCS is go. Alright.
Oh, this is gonna be a rough one, dude.
It's okay.
I just feel it right now. My degradation of skills is high. Chariot's IFA is holding. DTC.
Leb same.
Chariot's DTC is complete. Oh, that's not great.
Leb DTC complete.
Chariot's up come 1. Discord check.
Good.
Good check. Takeoff checks.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your trim set. Check your heading. My heading 150. Check your altimeter set. 2980 for a corrected center point elevation of 0 feet. Check your barrel warning 0. Check your FCS 12, 30, 30, 30 down 2. Check your fuel seat armed lights out.
Lab.
Check your smoke pressure on. Smoke on. Smoke off.
Good smoke.
Forgot that.
Good afternoon, Chariot. Updated winds are calm. 0-0. Check your altimeter 2992 for a corrected altimeter of 2980 for a corrected center point elevation of, let's see, what would that be? Maths. 230 feet above sea level. Chariot squawk 1205, Leb squawk 1206. You're clear to taxi right out of chocks and then left onto 11. Line up and wait.
Thanks, Leb. We're going to hold short 1-1.
Leb, hold short 11.
We're cleared to taxi. Check your parker brakes off. Chariot's powering up to 75%. Off brakes now. BrotherLeb, go line abreast right.
Leb.
Chariot's coming right. Chariot's ease right idle. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes.
That is very narrow.
Takeoff checks.
Leb.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your lights off. Check your lantern lights off. Check your flaps are half, mine are auto. Check your waypoint is correct and in the box, showing hold. Waypoint 1 at 0.6 miles. Check your altimeter set. 2980. Check your dispensers bypassing your CD's arm. Check your heading. My heading 1905.
Leb.
Check your parking brake is off. Chair sprang up to 70%. Off brakes now, BrotherLeb detach.
Leb's attached.
Coming left, okay. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes. Solids were clear for takeoff. Check your brakes off. Maneuver our section takeoff maneuver.
Leb.
Updated winds are calm. Let's run them up. Let's do this thing.
Brakes off now. Blowers ready now. Blowers ready now.
See ya.
Ready, hit it.
Chariot Slayer.
Correction to your knee board, it's on the 5s. Wings level smoke on, blowers ready now. So crowd left heading is 105.
Chariot.
Reciprocal 285.
Chariot.
Clear, smoke out.
Chariot Slayer 2.2.
Left. Clear 1.1.
It's -5, correct?
Correct. .5. 4 miles mark.
Living under your beam.
A beam.
Living under ready, take a mark.
Go ahead and take it.
Stand by, mark it.
.4 miles mark 415.
Chariot's in for the right knife edge.
Was in a right knife edge, low angle.
Little angle.
3 miles mark 400. Miles mark 400.
On the cone.
Left.
Smoke on.
Contact.
Contact squash. Ready, hit it. Stand by, roll, and pull. Check smoke. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chariot Slayer and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing inverted to inverted rolls. 2 miles mark.
Match.
On the cone today.
Left.
Put us further away from the crowd.
.4 miles mark.
Let me know on your beam.
A beam.
Let me know, take a mark.
Go take it.
Stand by, mark it.
.4 miles mark 380.
Chariot's in for the left inverted.
Was it left?
On the cone.
Left. 3 miles mark 406. .2 miles mark 404.
Ready, hit it. Smoke on.
Roll right, roll right.
Got it.
Gotta clean
Roll
good.
right, roll right.
A little drive. Ready, hit it.
Roll right,
Stand
roll
by,
right.
roll. And pull. 1-5.
Left.
Stand by, roll. Chariot Slayer and clearing behind the crowd for the Fortis. Come left, hooks coming down.
Contact.
360. 350, ease a little more power. 340. Ease the bull, rolling out some bank. 330, ease more power. 315, a little outboard.
Left, Chariot.
Ease the pull, rolling out, adding power. 300. Souls around the crowd, setting up the Fortis, checking line lights on. We're coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. Stand by the gear. Adding power, adding more power. We're left hand turn for the first game, flat by hook bars up.
Let's go. Touchdown, helicopter up.
Easing a little pull. Easing Easing the pull and rolling out. It's going to be quick. The Fortis 1.5. Chariots rolling in.
Cleared.
Inboard and low. Set. Center point. Chariots pushing out.
Left.
Rolling out.
Clear.
Coming back left. Set. Stand by the gear. Gear. Hook. BrotherLeb, knock it off.
Clear.
Chariots clear and clearing behind the crowd for the MRT, State 9-2.
State 8. No. It's just thicker air.
Yeah. Lots of everything.
Yeah.
Cherry circling 5 miles for the MRT. And Cherry's turning in 5 miles for the MRT. Four miles, Mark 352. Draws Mark 350. 2 miles, Mark 347. 1.5 miles MRT. 1 mile, Mark 349. Burners now. Ready, hit it. Slow entry.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Ease in the pull comes the pull. Pulling and kicking. Chariots pushing out. Leveling out. Coming left. Comes the pull.
Contact.
Looking for 1.5.
Left.
Ease the pull. Rolling out. Smoke on. Smoke off. Easing power, little pull. 330. 345. 355. Slows on the ground, send up the opposing MRT.
You got TJ.
Chariot. We're coming right. Comes the pull. Easing some pull. Easing the pull and rolling out. The opposing MRT to right. 195. Little pull to level. Smoke on left lead.
Little out. Little ease of power. Power set.
Smoke off. Ready, hit it.
Roll right.
Smoke on.
Roll right.
380 mark.
Mad.
Numbers.
5 slow. Connect.
Looking for several lab.
Lab.
Merge. Stand by, roll. Pull to 40. Stand by, roll. .
Clear.
Roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chariot's clear and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing horizontal rolls. 2.7 mark.
2.6. Four miles mark.
Let me know on your beam.
A beam.
Alright, rocket to mark.
Oh, dig it.
Stand by, mark it.
Four miles mark. 3.5.
Chariot's in for the left horizontal rolls.
Other than left for source.
Mark all clears.
Left. 3 miles mark 4.2. Two miles mark 400.
Smoke on.
Got it.
Got it. Up we go. A little more pull. Ready. Hit it.
Clear.
Burners. Pull. Stand by. Roll. Burners. Pull. Ease in the pull and roll it out. 7.7.
Left.
Chariot's coming right and circling behind the crowd for the sneak 2 vertical state 7.5.
Upstate 7.6.
It's coming back.
Slowly but surely. It's a beautiful sight, though.
I love it. It's really hard, but I love it.
Forget how beautiful this part of the world is. War-torn, but beautiful.
Chariot circling 5 miles for the sneak 2 verticals. And Chariot's turning in 5 miles sneak 2 verticals on the runway. Four miles, 4.76.
On time.
3 miles, 4.82.
On time.
2 miles, 4.88 level.
Pull up, pull up.
1 mile, mark 0.89 full burn.
So on.
Chariot's 9.5.
Ready, hit it. Stand by, roll. Let's clear 10,000.
Chariot. Chariot circling 4 miles for the solo loop.
Left.
How are the clouds?
Clouds, no factor.
No factor. I show clear. Chariot's turning in 4 miles solo loop.
Left. And let's clear 13.
Chariot. It's the pull. Rolling out. Ease in the pull. Wings level smoke on. Up we go. A little more pull. Adding power. Adding more power. Vertical 5-8, easing power. Easing more power. A little ease. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Ease. The pull. Ease. Ease in more. Pull, adding power. Go. Diamond Stinger. That was sexy. Smoke off. Chariot attach. Chariots attach, boss. Eliminator beam.
Beam.
Eliminator ticket mark.
Good ticket.
Stand by market.
Four miles. Mark 350.
Chariots in for the right 4 point.
Left and right. 4 point. Three miles. Mark 410.
On time.
Two miles. Mark 43.
Okay, how'd that happen? It's fine. Smoke on.
Contact.
Contact smoke off. Ready, hit it! 1, 2,
Roll right, roll right.
3, 4. Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chariots clear and clearing in for the crowd for the opposing vertical pitch. 2 miles mark.
Match. Oh, those clears are awful. .5 and a 4 miles mark.
Lemon on your beam.
I mean,
Lemon mark.
good ticket.
Stand by, mark it. Oh.
4 miles. Mark 395.
Chariots in for the left vertical pitch.
Left to left.
It's 250.
50. 3 miles. Mark 404.
On time.
Two miles. Mark 402.
Behind. Smoke on.
Contact.
Contact. Add it up.
Pull up, pull up.
Ready, hit it. 60. Little shallow. Stand by, roll, and pull. Power's idle. 45, 40, 35, 30. Horizon. Now 80.
E5.
Contact on below. .5, Mark 410.
On time.
1 mile, Mark 405, adding power.
On time, a little slow.
Half mile, Mark, a little pull. Ready, hit it. Smoke off, stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Chase clear, and clear behind the crowd for the inverted tug of roll contact.
Coming left. 380, easy power. Roll out a little bank, 380. 370. 360. Having a little power catch, 350, there's 350. Ease of the pole and rolling out 345.
You'll have 2 lab.
Sold behind the crowd, setting up the invert tuck of roll.
Chariot.
We're a little wide.
Chariot.
Left. Coming further left comes the pole. A little more. Pole. So it's the 90 for the inverted roll.
Chariot.
A little further left. Ease in the pull. Rolling out. And up we go. Easing a little power. Ready, hit. Up.
Swung up.
A little drive. Ready, hit.
Behind. Behind. Swung off. Stand by, roll. Pull to 10 degrees. Stand by, roll. Rolling out. Coming left.
Inside.
Contact.
He's the and rolling out. Coming left 350. 360. 370. There's 380. Easy little power catch.
You got 2 left.
Souls behind the guard's end of the section alpha.
Chariot.
Easy a little more power, and we're easing the pull. Rolling out. Little pull to level. Getting a little close. We're coming left. Easing power, easing more power. Coming further left comes the pull. Stand by the board. Sports. A little more pull. Sold to the 90 for the sector half.
Chariot.
A little more pull, rolling out a little bank. Rolling out more bank. And we're rolling out. Outboard. Stand by the boards. Board. Easing power. 190. 180. 175. 170. Little pull. 160. A little more pull. 155. 150. 145. 140. Pull onto the set. Adding power. We're setting it. Smoke on.
Center point. Knock it off.
Look. Pulling a 60. Coming left.
Chariot's breaking left through 60.
Contact.
280. 300 ease and power. 305 ease and a little pull. 315 ease and more pull. 320. Ease and the pull. 325. 330. 340 ease and more power.
Still have to share it.
Chariot. 350. Easing the pull and rolling out. Souls around the crowd for the section breakout. We're coming left. Comes the pull. Sorry about that. A little more pull. Easing the pull. Rolling out some bank. Easing the pull. Easing power and rolling out. The section breakout. Go let rest smoke on. 10 fast, 1 mile mark. Half mile mark, ready, hit it. Smoke off. Stand by, roll, and pull.
Contact.
Ease the pull and rolling out. Easing power 360.
Contact.
360. Delta's behind the crowd. Send up the Delta roll. Chariot 4.6.
Web 4.8.
Coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull.
You got 6 boss.
Boss. Delta's at the 90 for the Delta roll.
Web.
Ease in the pull and rolling out. The Delta roll. Smoke on. Up. We go a little more pull. Okay. Comes the pull. Ease in the pull. Coming back left. Coming further left. Adding power. Comes the pull. Or left-hand turn for fluidity. Smoke off. Coming further left comes the pull. Ease in the pull and roll it out. The fleur-de-lis. Up. We go 25 fast. Smoke on. Ready break.
Ready.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll. And pull. Correct.
Ease the roll. Rolling out.
Trace coming right. Crossing in front of your nose at 490. Now, easy power. 440, adding power to hold. Coming right. Adding power. 435. A little more pull.
You got you.
Ease a little power. 440. Ease in the pull. Smoke on. A little more pull. Ease in the pull. And rolling out. Up. We go. A little more pull.
Left over maneuver.
Okay. Set. Okay.
Let's smoke on.
Set. Smoke off. Contact.
Smoke on. $370. Little right. And a little pull.
Give me speeds.
360. Adding power. A little more pull. Screwed this up.
Do what you need.
A little more pull. We're gonna make a left correction here. Easeable, 370. And roll in left. 380. 390. 400. Rolling through to the left. And a little pull through 420.
You got 6 boss.
Boss, ease in the pull. Rolling out. The loop right across, boss. 200.
Chariot 350.
Adding a little power. We're a little low. Up we go. A
Cheater.
little more pull. Vertical 5-2. Ease in the pull. Easing more pull. Horizon now 8-0. A little pull. Ready break, 2 right. Correction left. Smoke off. 0.5 mark. 400. 1 mile mark 420 break. 1.5 mark 404. 2 miles mark 398. 2.5 mark smoke. 3 miles mark. Up we go. 4 G mark.
Killing me, Smalls.
Vertical 4-2. 8 alpha. Horizon now 7-2 powers on. 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, rolling it. Half steep.
Give me a
3 miles
distance.
mark. And leveling out. 2.5 mark 395. 2 miles mark 398. 1.5 mark 400. 1 mile mark 404. Half mile mark 400. Smoke. Up. Clear.
Sure, sir.
Come left. 400. Easy lots of power. 390.
Contact.
380. 370. 360. 355. And a little power to catch. 350. Ease on the pole. And rolling out. Coming left. Coming further left comes the pole. A little more pull. Easing a little power.
You got 6, boss.
Bob. The Delta is in a left-hand turn for the Delta breakout. Right turn out.
Chariot.
A little further left. Ease a little more power. Comes the pull. Ease in the pull. And rolling out. Smoke on. We're about 10 right. Little pull to level. Ready, break. Set. Smoke off. Clear.
Chariot's clear, 114, 288 at 1200.
Contact.
Coming right, 310. Little pull. 325. 335. 345 ease and power to hold 350. Delta's in a right-hand turn for the Delta left. Pitcher break to land. Runway 11.
Lab.
Watch the hill.
You got 6.
Boss. Smoke on. Coming further right. Comes the pull. Ease in the pull. Rolling out some bank. Ease in the pull and rolling out. The left pitch break land a little dry. Out the numbers for the left pitch break land.
Left bring it.
Center point, boss breaking.
Left bring it.
Ease the ball. Rolling out 130.
Left. Rolling out 130.
Smoke off. Gear and flaps. Coming left. 280 lab. $260 lab. 240 lab. Chariot says that I need gear down 3 green. Stagger is left 220 lab.
3 green.
180 lab. 160 lab. 140 all the way lab.
Lab's 160. 140 all the way, little angle.
Cheers, guy.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's Lima.
That's okay.
Chariot, landing checks.
Lab.
Check your pressure off. Check your traps. Check your flaps auto. Check your land lights off. Reset your trim and safe your seat.
Lab.
We'll go well clear on Lima for individual left 45s into chocks.
Lab.
Standby wing fold. Check your parking brake is off. Chair's powering up to 75% off brakes now. Standby solo right turn.
Lab.
Chariot's ease power 68, land and roll. And Chariot's come and left, go well clear.
Lab.
Nice flight today, Leb.
Nice flight, Chariot.
Standby wings. Standby wings to hold in 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby wings to fold in 3, 2, 1, mark. Chariots come and left. Chariots coming left for parking 150 now. Ease and power. Little brakes, easy brakes, a little brakes, brakes.
Lab.
Standby canopy and engines.
Lab.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. And that's the show.
Good job.
Yeah, let's jump out and debrief. BrotherLeb, you got me? BrotherLeb, oh. BrotherLeb, you got me?
Leave Charlie.
Nice. Good flight today.
For the most part.
For the most part. And that's all that we can hope for, right? Especially after being gone for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let me get... alright, how do you want to do this? You said you have until 3.
Let's just do a full re-brief. It'll be fine. That was just sort of a round number for like, I should probably knock it off around then.
Cool. Sounds good. All right. Let me get the sim up to good settings and running. And then load up the maneuver manual. And load up tac view. You know what's great about that flight?
No.
I didn't think for one moment about the fact that you were hosting it.
Ah, that's good. Be interested if that affects the stream at all.
Yeah, that'll be interesting for sure. But you have that like render. You have that render thread on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my DCS is having trouble logging in. Wonderful.
About that.
All right. Let's debrief this thing. Virtual camera. All right, so that was a flight at Ramat David. It's definitely different than anything else we've done recently.
Yes, sir.
But it,
Hill.
yeah,
Still a problem.
it was fine. What's funny is I didn't even think about it during the show.
Really?
I just flew naturally against it the whole time. Like, that didn't stress me out. But then again, I don't really lead anything in that direction. All right. Sorry. Okay. Let's see, debrief. There we go. That's the wrong one. That's totally the wrong one. Let's do this one. All right. Goals for the show: to fly a safe show, and for me, and I believe I succeeded. My form flying was very consistent and smooth and well clear, and I felt like there was some of my better form flying of late.
Yeah, my goal for the show was speed, which I'll give myself a C minus. For the most part, it was good, but there were a couple of maneuvers that I was pretty out of profile for.
All right, dirty roll on. Let's start with the taxi. It's quick and tight. I don't like it, but it's
so narrow. It's so narrow.
It's what we have.
Uh-huh.
So I think if you can make it work, we'll just stick with it.
All right.
Yeah.
You also have me taxi out of the chocks first and chase me down the road. So we're just sort of set up in that line trail for the turn on.
Yeah, we could just brief. Well, you can't because you're crossed wings with me. So
never mind then.
There's not really a good way to do it based on the way that we're
solution.
set up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So aside from that, the taxi was fine. Any other notes on the taxi?
Nope.
All right. Next up was the section takeoff maneuver. My dirty roll on takeoff was very slow and very low, and it felt really cool. So it was a good start to the show. My clear behind crowd, I realized I didn't have the kneeboard up halfway through. So when you started mentioning kneeboard stuff, I was like, oh yeah, I'll probably need that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what my angle was behind crowd, but felt like a very good maneuver overall. No other notes.
Yep. No notes for that. It was a pretty sick low transition, and I was in parameters for the overhead. Oh, actually, one note. I did not smoke off before I rolled behind crowd, so I did it kind of in the roll, which is just a little sloppy.
All right. Opposing knife edge. I was a little bit off on inbounds for this because I once again turned too early, and so I was like ended up crossing show line and getting behind and all that jazz. So I know what to fix for next time, but I will fix it for next time, and so I'm not sure if the hit's going to be on center point. We'll see. But yeah.
Yeah, slight over rotation on the hit and pretty lousy clears. Like I just did not hit my 90s.
All right, cool. Next up is the invert to inverted. This one felt great on my end, both the inbounds and flying inverted and the clear. So no notes on this one.
Yeah, no, it's. I'm not sure about the altitude separation, whether I got the sight picture right. I feel like I was a little high, but maneuver profile was great. No, it's.
Fortis. This one was interesting. We were out wide, but I've had trouble turning in on time for pretty much every other Fortis, so I turned us in like real. I just yanked on it, got us around the corner. Turns out that was too shallow, so I give up. I don't give up, but it's just really frustrating when the adjustments that you make. But maybe if we were actually like on line behind crowd 2 miles, it would actually work the way it's supposed to. But yeah, it was too much pull. But once we got on profile, I ended up rolling into you again, which stinks. And we were quite low, so I put a little bit of extra drive into it, and just left it there on that number all the way across, and hopefully that worked. I think I overrolled the clear, so that's a safety that I'll fix for next time, and the rest of the clear seemed okay.
Yeah. One of the reasons I don't like this Showsite is because it's really hard to find center point visually. I don't know about you, but my HMD does not, when I'm out of head out of the cockpit, does not actually point at it. It points in a nearby place, but not specifically at that spot. So it's very difficult to find the center point with all those runways. And there's like a white building that's near enough to where I think center point should be that it looks a little like that cone. And so, yeah, I did not have a good sense of where center point was relative to where we were in the turn. So I cut behind you and into my set, like probably at the 45. So just really early. Other than that, I was able to get right where I needed to be. And yeah, it did feel like maybe you overrolled a little bit on the clear. But since I'm flying visually on you at that point, it was not too bad to adjust to. It did feel like the roll was snappy speed wise. Like sometimes you'll ease into it a little bit more than that one. So I doubt that I got the timing right, but I was able to match bank angle and stuff like that. So if anything, my major note there is I think I was a little far ahead of you coming across center point, and I was a little high relative to you on the clear.
All right. Peaceful Viper. Nice to see you here. Learning aerobatics in DCS with the diamond routine. That's cool, dude. Yeah, I hope you continue to use our videos to learn. It was designed with the former FCS. So a lot of our specifics about like how the jet behaves aren't true anymore, but the numbers that we talk about and like what you should be thinking about and what you should be seeing out of the canopy, that's true based upon how we fly the show, and we fly it differently. Make sure to watch our philosophy video to understand that.
I think he said he might be flying the diamond profile.
He said he's focusing more on the solos lately.
So. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Well, welcome, dude.
Yeah, and glad that
welcome to the insanity.
And we're glad that this is helping you out. That's what you are the exact kind of people that we designed this for. And William Belmont, yes, both of our VRAM is on the verge because DCS doesn't like VRAM. Well, especially VR.
Yep.
So, yes, we push it, but yeah, it's because we want
to. Yeah, my 4080 sounds like a freaking vacuum cleaner.
And my 3090 Ti is also a vacuum cleaner. But I will also say that streaming for us is secondary to having a good time. We do this realistically for our own ability to keep record of our progress, and so we can go look at stuff. And we're glad.
Yeah, we actually started it because we wanted to be able to look at basically tape.
Yep.
Be able to watch what we did.
Yep.
And streaming was the easiest way to do it because that way it's being stored in the cloud instead of on a computer somewhere that we have to keep up.
Exactly. So thank you, YouTube, for your services. Yeah. And Peaceful Viper, yes, is definitely insanity. And yeah, have a good time. Let us know if you have any questions. We respond to comments on the YouTube videos fairly quickly as well. Moving on to the minimum radius turn. I think I got too slow for this one. I let it go down to 305 because I thought with all the power that we have at Ramat, David, that would be fine. And the altitudes are fine, but the jet was just a little wallowy on the tail. So I'll be interested to see how that looks on the tape. It didn't feel super great, so I might bring it back up to 310. But aside from that, no notes.
Yeah, that checks out. I was a little fast, a little ahead of my timings for this one by probably 3 or 4 seconds. For a lot of the reasons you mentioned. Other than that, I think it was fine. Yeah, the density altitude, because the air is denser here for whatever reason, that means you'll have more power, but you also have more drag. So it doesn't really cancel stuff out. It's just like sluggish, I guess, on the power side of things.
All right, opposing minimum radius turn. This one felt good. It felt like my roll was early, which is weird because based on the timings that I've been doing in the past, it seemed fine. I'll be interested to see how that looks. And then I think I was pulling too much around the corner. So I was at 380, but I was doing 4.3 Gs. So I just need to ease it off and keep eyes on the Gs to make sure that I'm hitting 4G 380 around the whole corner. That probably led to part of why the hit was about 4 or 5 right this time. My clear was fine. No further notes.
Yeah, I don't really have any notes you haven't already covered. The numbers were pretty good. So far you haven't been ahead of me, so I was afraid to add power, even though I could tell you maybe we're coming in a little ahead of me. So I should have just trusted what I was seeing, and I didn't. Also, I was high on the hit by probably half a jet. So, well, that would be high from directly level with you, and I need to be about half a jet low anyway. So maybe quarter jet low. So yeah, definitely fix that for next time.
And that one's on me because I dropped altitude too much in the turn around the corner. I was just really happy with like the turn rate, and I wasn't paying attention to altitude because I was like just trying to get that turn rate to match up. But I need to be an aviator and pay attention to speed, altitude, and to altitude, airspeed, and G level. So I can do a scan of 3 objects at once.
As my old choir director used to say, well, you're a vocalist, so you can't count to 3.
Yep.
All
right.
From New Zealand, anyway.
It's okay. Dancers can't count to anything but 8.
That's true.
I'm
really good at it, though.
Yeah. Opposing horizontal rolls time. I was early into the box, so I tried to adjust speed to make that work, but we still hit like 4 or 5 left, which is my bad. But aside from that, we got on altitude and leveled out pretty well. Jet feels really cool here. No further notes.
My only note is that I eased the pull too much, so I was nose high when we rolled out, which didn't help my roll rate. Other than that, we were on altitude, which is great. So, no further notes.
Sneak pass. This is great. I got no notes for this one. Nice and level at 2 miles, which is ideal. Oftentimes, show sites don't allow for that, but this one did, which was great. And yeah, no notes.
I didn't quite get to 80 degrees right when I was starting the spin, so that adjusted some of the way that maneuver kind of felt. And then I forgot to even like get a reference point for what behind crowd is, and I nailed it. So no further notes.
Gotta love it. This is probably the best solo loop I've done in a hot minute.
It was so slow.
It was so slow and so smooth and so round. It was just like, oh, perfection, dude. That's exactly what you want it to be. So I've got no notes on that one. 4 point. I was a little bit close to center point, but it seemed like you adjusted decently to that. As far as like lateral spacing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, inbounds were fine. My 4 points were fine, and my clear was actually okay, which I was surprised at. So no further notes.
Yeah, I fly you visually for that maneuver, and I make sure that the spacing works out because we always got room behind crowd, so you can't really work inward, but I can work outward. So, all or rather, we got more room in front of crowd. Yeah, it's just the same thing as clear comment from earlier. Like I didn't hit any of my 90s. I don't think I hit them during the 4 points. I don't think I hit them in the clear. So just need more time in the shed, getting the feel for how the jet behaves at this show site, because I just didn't hit any of them. But yeah, that's all I got for this one.
Vertical pitch. Yeah, I was actually ahead coming into the box this time. So was working that out as we hit. I smoked on at 1.5 because that way we have more time before they added up. And man, added up to center point felt like it took forever, but we hit more or less on center point. But then the jet just felt weird. First off, it squatted really hard, and I expected to get, but because of that, I expected to get to 60 faster, and so I eased off where I thought 60 was, and it was actually like 55, so I had to pull back up to it, which is why I said shallow. And then rolling, it just rolled really quickly. I almost over-rolled it and had to come back at it. And pulling over the top, it pulled once again, same thing as the pulling to 60. It pulled quickly to start and then like really backed off and slowed down. So it's just all of that's on me. I'll fix that for next time. Good adjustments on the way down to make the hit work. You were pretty much on by the time you hit 1.5. So great job there. The hit was more or less at center point, probably like 2 left, which is more or less actually where center point is on the HUD. So yeah, good work there, and the clears were good.
Yeah, I could pretty much trace all of it just to the difference because you were shallow on the uphill, and so I was just higher than you. So that's basically where all that came from. The only note I would make is that I knew that you weren't going to be able to add it up fast enough to get, like, you were pretty close to 400, so you just get to 400 and sit there, and I was coming in at like 440 knots when you're at about 1.5. So I went idle, but I probably should have tossed the boards out just to make sure the hit worked. So we're probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 left, maybe more, based on what I was seeing. And I think that's just because I had a 20 or 30 knot overspeed by the time we got to that point. So it's something that I could fix. I knew about it when it was happening. I just was hoping it would kind of adjust itself if I did less than I didn't want to put boards out because I didn't want that picture. But yeah, I should have done it because I knew what the numbers needed to be. No further notes.
Tucker roll.
All right, yeah, Tucker and for takeover. We were a little wide. But because we pulled pretty hard, I wasn't too nervous about that. And this is not a maneuver where I'm thinking about the hill. The lineup actually was pretty good. I misread where center point was, but when I started rolling out, I caught where it was. And I was like, oh, this is actually going to work out because I was padlocked on that building that I thought center point was. But anyhow, and then I just pretty stable rolling. So pretty large overroll for me on the clear, but you were behind and it sounded like you got blind. So I think that's ended up being good because that added more separation. But in any event, I'm not exactly sure what happened after that. I was able to get sight of you and fly a relatively safe clear, but it was not clean, and my altitudes and yours don't match, and the parallax is probably all out of whack too. So things to definitely adjust for in the future.
Cool. All right. So I was good when we came level, and when we rolled in. There's just so many runways. I think I just spotted the wrong runway and the wrong crowd. And flew that.
You're inverted too.
Oh, dude, it's so bad. I wish I had a signal officer. It'd be so nice. But anyway, like I was flying pretty consistently off of you, but then I just couldn't get the power up to get a beam of you by the time we got to the hit. So I don't know what was up with that. But also I'm like I'm separating from you the whole time, which is not great. So yeah, it wasn't a great profile for me once we got inverted. The clears were fine though, so no further notes on that. I'll fix that for next time. I'm glad to be here.
I kind of feel like they would fly a different runway than we've been flying. Anyway,
we can do that if we want to, but we have to change all the knee boards and everything.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk about it after the debrief. Yeah, so section high alpha setup was pretty good. Going into the turn was all right. I was nervous about the hill, so I pulled a little more. And honestly, we didn't have tons more room than what I took, but I think I have to like think about how that turn needs to be because we just had a lot of extra angles once we rolled out. So I think I had maybe a little less pull, a little less bank, or something to like not, I don't know, or maybe start the turn earlier and then tighten it down because that the hill's at this funny angle, and so like we don't have tons more room, but I had an angle coming in for center point, which is not what I wanted to do. I guess we could come in a little high and settle into it, but that's also a whole complicated thing. Anyhow, we had angles going to center point, but other than that, I feel like the actual maneuver was pretty solid and the clear was good.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. My form flying for this was quite good. And then once you actually got set, like it was such a like relaxed. It was such a stable set that I was able to keep my throttle more or less in the same place the whole time.
Nice.
So like, it was just flying, just like flying the jet with the stick mostly. It was really comfortable. So I really liked that maneuver. Great job. The rejoin for the Burner 270. Yeah, I'll take a big safety on the roll-in for this. I had thought about this a little bit while I was away, about the fact that like this maneuver realistically could be set up almost the same as the opposing the what is it? The opposing MRT. Like
For timings?
no, for the turn behind crowd. So
Okay.
well anyway, well we can talk about that afterward. For some reason, that thought got into my brain, so that's why it was a snap roll to the left. And so that kind of it throws off the turn, it throws off the timing for the pulls and everything like that. So that was unfortunate. But we got close to center line, still at an angle though. We were fast by the time we rolled out. Then we did the pulls, and I over pulled it just a little bit, had to push it back out. And the roll behind the crowd was fine, but I will fix those for next time, and I'm glad we're still here.
Yeah. I actually flew, so I could tell that the profile was not what you wanted, like just not just by the way you were flying, but just because of the way that the like I don't know, I had enough essay at that point that I kind of knew where we were, but it was fine because I was flying really good formation, so I just sort of settled into that and did it, which was great. I was a little behind you, like half a jet sucked once you rolled out, so I had to push up the throttle, but I was able to catch it pretty good. I might have overpulled a little bit on the hit. And then my major safety of the entire show by like a huge safety is I misread our closer rate big time once I like did my roll inverted and like rejoin with you, and I almost hit you. I just piled right into the back of you, and my instinct is to go nose down to avoid, like that's standard underrun procedure, but I was high on you, so when I just did the instinctive maneuver, it actually pointed me into you, and also we were really freaking low, and so yeah, there's just all sorts of safety and danger that I really like. You said you're glad that we're still here, and I'm glad we're still here too, because I definitely got very close to just ending the show for both of us. I think were within 100 feet of each other at one point, and not in formation. So that was very dangerous, and it took me most like half of the turn to get back in after that. So big safety for me. Definitely will fix that for next time. Better to fly safe and be late than to fly fast and be dangerous. So definitely fix that for next time. Glad to be here.
There it is. Yep. All right. Let's move on to the Delta roll. This one felt really good. With one exception. So the turn behind crowd felt great. The rollout felt great. The up the hill and the roll felt great. I realized there wasn't quite enough roll rate in it. At about halfway. But I was like, if I add more and then we start to roll out, I'm going to absolutely whack him off. So I just stuck with it, and we added pole to end it. And that was okay, and it was going to be even more okay. But then there was an electrical tower. I was going to ease us out to level, but then this electrical tower just materializes in front of me, and I'm like, okay, well, we're not easing out to level then, which is why we had that climb. Because I had to pull us up over that. So, yeah, I will put a little, like another millimeter of roll rate into it, and we should be good for next time. And I'll fix my safeties, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks, Chariot. Honestly, it was great. It was one of the best ones I've ever flown. I just got slightly out of phase with you when you added that pull. Just a little bit sucked, a little bit low, and then when we were coming through the bottom of that, a little bit high and a little bit tight. But honestly, like, yeah, definitely better than anyone I've ever done. So yeah, definitely a very good maneuver. Also, having done a few of those myself when I'm leading them, you can kind of fix underrolled ones with a little extra pull. So when you brought that in, and I could kind of tell what angle we were at, it made sense in my like brain. And then also I was anticipating a climb out because we were coming pretty low, and so even though you wanted to level it out, I'm actually kind of glad you didn't, because it was easier to catch the ease than if you tried to level it. But in any event, good maneuver, and yeah, cool stuff.
All right. Next up is the fleur-de-lis. Turn behind the fleur-de-lis. I knew that we were going to be a little wide. I knew that we were angling to be inboard by quite a bit, like towards the crowd. But I left it until the last minute because I've put us outboard quite often. And I took the same philosophy on the Pigeon Break to land. And both of those worked out this time around, so I'm proud of that adjustment. We're just going to make a quote-unquote late stage adjustment, if that's the case, because I've seen Boss do it as well. Better to bring it in and roll it out a little bit later than to be so far away from the crowd that it looks ridiculous. We did have some extra speed on that, but we were able to bleed it off with an early up we go. And so we were only a little bit fast by the time we broke. So I'll fix the speed for next time, and I'm glad we're here.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I forgot the rest of it.
Oh,
Behind the crowd, I thought I was going to cross the front of your nose, but I ended up being way closer than I anticipated, so I ended up dropping below you to make sure that we didn't hit. So that's a safety. And I'll fix it for next time. Then I just had us way too low over the field. I think that either spooked you or something. I don't know why. I look forward to hearing what happened, but I'll take responsibility for part of that because we were like 150 feet coming across the field. And then the up we go, I was adding pull and everything, but it just wasn't coming. So like I didn't want to just like jerk pull into it, and like chuck you off. So I just kept pulling at the same rate, and the jet did what it wanted to do. And then the rolls over the top were fine, and I'll talk about the rejoin when we get to the loop break cross.
Yeah, so I was dialed for the fleur-de-lis, so no notes on that, except that I did not roll enough on the ready split. I was 45, I need to be at 60. We've noted that before, so that's a safety I'll take. Fix that for next time. Glad to be here. Yeah, behind the crowd, it was crazy. I was doing like 400 knots. You were doing about 490 by the time you turned, and we still, like, you ended up crossing behind me because I was like, well, I don't want to go a lot slower, but I hate it when I have to like chase like that. So I don't really know why that speed is different. Maybe I can bring out more power and get it back. I don't know. I was able to catch you, but you were also quite a bit slower than I was anticipating. like 430, 440,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm used to more like 460 and or so. And so I was anticipating that you would speed back up to that. And so I just kept in more power, which meant that when I got into where I thought I would be in, that I was overshooting. So then I was really like strung out. But I called like, I think I'll be in, we'll be fine. But then you were right, we were really low, and I was nervous about that. But I was like, he's not going to scrape me off. It's fine, we're good. And I was just tucked right in there. And then when you rolled out, I think because we were so low, the rollout was a little quicker than I was anticipating also. And then I just climbed above and behind you. So now I'm in like Maverick set. Um, and we're low. And then I looked at my altimeter and it read 75, and you're below me. So I was like, all right, no maneuver, I'm good. I'm not gonna try and fix this. I'm just gonna like he's about to pull up into me anyway, and I'm above his nozzles. I'm just gonna clear and like he can do the maneuver, and then I'll go try and figure out what the heck boss does. But I was pretty rattled at that point. So then the setup for the loop break cross was completely off. Because I've actually never flown that, and I needed to go further out and then make a sharper turn, and so there was just a big old left correction to get us back online, which you sort of caught, so good for you. We were low and we were right speed, but then I just lost track of our DME, so we should have gone up the hill at 1.2. We went up at 1.8, or sorry, 0.8. So that's why we were so far left in this. I brought in more pull to try to fix it, but then that ended up just like bleeding off altitude and airspeed and stuff, so it didn't actually fix it. So that was a mistake on my part. And yeah, so as a result of that, outbounds were kind of wonky and inconsistent, and then inbounds were more or less on, but at that point the maneuver was so far gone. So any mistaken, like any problem with the cross on the actual loop break cross, I'll take responsibility for that because the profile was pretty far off at that point. Yeah, it's just a lot of things to correct there. I was also probably 200 low by the time I got to the 3 mile mark. So the up we go was low. Anyway, yeah, so lots of safeties, lots of things to fix there. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so yeah, bummer. All right. So as we were coming over for the fleur-de-lis, I'm looking down. I'm like staring at my numbers as I do because there's no diamond to look for, and then suddenly I see smoke down there, and I'm like, oh well, there we go. So
I did call smoke on the other channel, but you must not have heard it.
no, I heard smoke on, but what that doesn't. I assume that means you're with me now. Like I assumed in that moment that meant that you'd rejoined.
Ah, okay, got it.
Because I had no other context, which is fine. It wasn't a problem. It was just like, I saw your smoke and I was like, oh, look, there he is. So I went and got you as I would the diamond, and that was not a problem. It was really funny because you were in that turn, and I was like, he's not pulling hard enough. As I'm like coming down looking at your smoke, I'm like, it's not, the radius of this is too wide. He's gonna have to come back at it. So, yeah, it wasn't an issue. I got rejoined up nice and tight as you rolled out of your left turn, and yeah, more or less where 6 is for that maneuver normally. We went up over the hill, and that was all fine. I could tell that as soon as you hit Horizon, you weren't happy with where the center point was, because I think there was just a smidge of drive that was introduced as we went over as you were sighting center point. I was just kind of gently chuckling to myself as your jet starts to float a little bit, and I'm like, push. Was able to keep it in formation. I could tell the brake was low, so I wasn't too worried about my angle of roll. I was just making sure that I was able to pull out in time, and I did. Almost able to fix the outbound distance issues by the time we went up, but then the up we go was low and slow. Like the pull to 4Gs was fairly slow compared to previous times, so that was a little bit wonky, and then you hit vertical before I expected it, and so like, I don't know, I was just all the numbers were totally off on the loop, and I was like, I don't know. It wasn't frustrating. It was just like, well, I just gotta fix it now. But as we came inbound, I was more or less on numbers. But then your speeds were all over the place, and so couldn't quite fix it by the time we hit center point. Yeah. So on to the Delta Breakout.
Yeah, Delta Breakout. I think I was in my own head a little bit. So I missed the turn point to come left back toward crowd, so we were outboard by an extra like quarter mile, which was fine. And then I brought in more pull because I thought like, oh, we're out here. And that ended up actually meaning that we were shallow, which I'm not usually shallow for this maneuver. I'm usually acute, like pointed back the other direction. So that I guess is a change. But yeah, so we ended up being canted crowd left by about 15 degrees for the actual hit itself. Not my best profile, but no major notes. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got no notes for this. It was good form flying for me. Was able to get in fairly quickly. Yeah, and the breakout was good. So that takes us to the pitch up break to land. This one was the way the jet feels at this at this field, along with the speeds and the fact that it's so hard to visualize the runway, made this a little bit more of an adjustment party than I would like. So I'm probably going to take us a little higher behind crowd so I can better visualize the field. Just as a note for next time. But given those adjustments, I was able to get us right over center point on line and on speed. So, you know, wasn't great, but I'll take it. Landing angle was good. I just did a 10 degrees shallower than we usually do away from crowd, and I felt like that was led to a decent amount of pull in the turn. So I felt like that was pretty good. And my landing was 140 on speed and felt nice. No further notes.
Yeah. If you go behind crowd a little bit higher, I'd love that because there's enough like hills and things that doing the standard rejoin underneath you just feels a little dangerous. Like I could see it, but when you called like watch the hill, I was like, I'm glad he said that because if I had been a little closer and like actually affecting a rejoin, I wouldn't have had any idea. I was a little loose at that point, so I could see it myself. But it's like, yeah, there are things to think about here. Yeah, I kind of cocked up the rejoin. It wasn't my best, but I was able to get in. Flying really good form until like just that last little rollout, and then there was a little wing climb. I could feel it happening, and I just gave a little stab of forward pressure, just a little stab of drive to try and catch it. Sometimes that'll work if I'm just like losing a little bit of like connection with you, but in this case it just induced PIO, and so I was floppy over the center point and grumpy by the time I did the pull and the break. But yeah, the actual break, and I think you're right about the angle. That angle feels right and set up a pretty good landing. And the mistake on the angle that I had coming in and final felt like something that like I had created and could have anticipated in a way that like previous angles, even with just that extra 5 degrees, it's like I don't even know how to fix this. So that was good. Keep that. I was a little late, I think, probably just too long in the groove, so I could be a little closer to you in the future. No further notes.
All right, taxi back. I think we're gonna stick with that so long as we have jets with folded wings. To park next to. A little bit weird. Never done it before. We'll see how it looks on the tape.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Speaking of which, nope.
Let's do it.
Let's see.
Serious shit. Holy smokes, Packar. Up $2 today? Nice.
Not bad. It's a pretty decent investment for you.
2%. Well, it hasn't been because I joined right before they tanked.
Oh, really? Bummer.
It's fine. It'll iron itself out in 10 years. I'll be very happy with it, as everyone who has invested in Packard has been. It's just ironic, you know.
Yep. I know the feeling. I started paying into a retirement account just before the market tanked about 5 years ago, and so there was a point where I rolled over money from a previous retirement account, and I lost a lot of it.
Well, it's back now.
Almost.
Alright, Centerpoint, where are you? Oh, hello. What was our angle?
195 actually.
195. Okay. 195. Alright, there we go. We'll live with this. Options. Bring it back down to 50%. Such a good song.
Mm-hmm. There's just a hint of Wii Sports in that little glockenspiel thing.
It's one of the reasons why I like it.
It also reminds me a little bit of Fresh Powder.
Yep.
Which I have looked for that, and I can't find it.
Get it directly from their website. The Airmen of Note. I was able to download it for free because they're military. Yeah.
I think that bridge in the background is new.
The environment.
Yeah. It's been so long since we've flown at this site, I don't remember what it looked like before.
I don't remember it.
I don't remember these fences, that's for sure. Look at that low transition. Sick! Nice. Yeah, really low. Yeah. Can we forget to smoke?
Yep.
Just a face full of foliage.
That's going to be a bummer for our behind the crowd stuff. I will.
Yeah. Glad we think the same way. Almost started singing it. Oops. I think I just didn't. I tapped it too fast. You need to actually listen for your smoke off call.
they're not.
To right, to right. To right, to right. To right, to right.
There he is.
Could turn out a little sooner for that. Here's me misreading where center point is.
Yeah, we never really ended that turn. Because we were at one point.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's a lot of lift. Yep, early. Yeah, over. Wee wee wee.
Yep.
To right, to right.
My roll was slow, so that's fine. I don't know, dude. It's a pretty flat turn. Yeah, a little low, but. Yeah.
So I can do better. There's the nose neutral.
Very nice.
What is this? The horizontal?
Mhm. wobbly because I pulled a little bit to get to 80. And just like fortunate end of that.
Skip this. I'll go up at 1.5 then.
Pull up, pull up.
Sure. Skip the boring part.
Pull up, pull up.
Felt way more stable in the jet than that looked. Angle's gonna be bad for this. The tree will probably get in the way beginning of it. Well, yeah, we'll be above it. Okay.
Very stable.
With those clouds, that looks great.
Probably one of our most stable in a hot minute.
That's nice.
Locked in. Almost as good as our video version.
Yeah. We practiced it over and over and over and over and over to get it right. That was a fun project, but I'm glad we don't have to do it again.
Me too.
I have thought about like what would it involve to update it, and not like film new stuff, but just like basically release clips of the old video and be like, here's what's different.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know that that's actually that helpful.
I don't think that's valuable. Because...
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to chuck you off, that's all.
That looks cool. I mean, Syria has always looked pretty good.
Terrifying this was.
I mean, you can kind of see it right there. You can tell the roid's a little slow.
Yep.
Little ways there. Just a touch.
That's the pull. That's pretty good, though. There's that.
Yeah. Oh, it worked out.
We just dove right in and looped in and came back.
That's probably how I would have flown it, to be honest. Yeah, there's just not quite enough room.
But yes,
It would have been like
I will fix it for next
10 or
time.
20 feet underneath my jet. That's assuming that I don't make any mistakes.
It's funny because it's like, as soon as I saw where you were, I was like, oh, I'm not stressed at all. This is gonna be fine.
That's the thing, is like, it's so much easier to rejoin on somebody who's down there already instead of having to create it.
Yep. Oh, also, on this Up We Go, you started pulling, like, earlier than Go. When do you start pulling up on your Up We Go calls?
Go.
Okay.
I just was so late on it that I probably started doing it without intent, like with it before I should have.
There's the float. Bummer. Eight in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I made some mistakes like that this show too. Like things that I was not expecting because I don't normally. That's not normally the problem that I have.
That looks really cool. The show site looks so good. There's just so much going on in the background. And with the... I remember when they didn't used to have the distance, like, atmospheric effect?
Mm-hmm.
Actually lined up with the runway.
Oh, you had a little angle too. Okay. I feel.
Well,
better
yeah,
about
I
the
had that angle from, like, 180.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if the fold will happen.
I highly doubt it. Oh, it does!
Oh, it does.
That's cool.
So that means you could sync up the canopy.
What do you mean?
Like like the software is capable of doing it. Like it's coded in a way that that would sync up if they did whatever they had to do to fix it.
Odds for the...
I overshot it just a little. I was trying to fix my lineup. I was like, oh shoot, I gotta look and see where I need to stop.
Yep. It came up real quick. And I was like as far out as you could get.
Yeah. I didn't actually turn straight ever. I just continued my turn all the way into the parking spot, which turned out to be about the right spacing.
Yep.
Maybe a little wide, just a touch.
And I'm a little tight.
Oh, I gotta go into the
Ooh.
livery file and see if I can fix the suits and helmets.
I don't think so because they were updated. Like the textures are different now, or the bump maps. So I don't think we could use the old suits and helmets.
No, but I wonder if I can update, like,
color
in
them?
the livery file, color them myself.
You'd have to
And
use a
then I
really
wonder-
smart software that could do the shading the same. No, you could probably
Yeah,
just
might
do
be able
a
to.
color wheel shifter.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And then I just have to check. Yeah, the other thing is there are some options in the livery Lua file that, like, I can select. I think it's where you can select which helmet you get. So I can, like, not have nods or the HMD. You can just have a. Because the
You can you can do that in the livery file. Yeah.
Because I know that the livery for our squadron doesn't have nods or an HMD.
We should totally do that. Also,
nice.
it'd be kind of cool to get our names on them, on the jets.
Yeah, that would depend on me being able to match the font.
You wouldn't need to mesh the font, just use Lobster. Just paint over the existing ones.
I think so. Yeah. Anywho.
Regardless. Alright, folks, that was the stream. Thanks for joining us. We probably won't stream again this weekend, but we'll probably be back next week at our regular time, which is late at night. So we'll see you then.